Hey guys, welcome to the show here. Freak here, Jet here. Got NA Challenger coming on. Welcome to the 2014 Challenger Series, brought to you in part thanks to our friends at Coca-Cola. I am David Freak Turley. I already called you Jet, but I felt like saying it again because we're back.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just like when I say your name a whole bunch?
Freak, Jet, our names.
Freak,
I'm
Jet.
used to hearing it.
Yeah,
Some
me too.
people call me Josh.
Some call me David.
It's much more rare. I think everyone calls you Freak or Turley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rarely get my own first name
Yeah.
from my own friends. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're here to bring you the games, guys. We got 2 coming up. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, guys. Okay, so Challenger matches coming up. First off, we got Curse Academy playing in here. They just beat Complexity Academy to get in this one. It's going to be fun. And, of course, they're taking on No Big Deal. After that, Tint Gaming faces off against NK Inc., Evaniscus, and Skyline.
Yeah, that's actually the games that happened yesterday that were just up on the screen. We do have the games Freak just mentioned on the audio if you're listening. The winners of tonight's matches will not only lock down a spot in the Challenger Series quarterfinals, they'll be guaranteed a chunk of cash, but most importantly, it's the Challenger Series points that they're playing for.
Exactly. That's how you get into the LCS promo tournament. So speaking of the quarterfinals, let's check out that Challenger Series bracket. That's the important part. On the top half of the bracket, it's the Spring Promotion Tournament participant, the Walking Zed. They will face off against the winner of tonight's Tint Gaming versus Skyline Throwdown.
Yeah, and the second quarterfinal matchup features last night's 2 winning squads, which is the Chinese powerhouse LMQ, which has moved over to the States, and the team Wiso Esports, who actually pulled off a big upset last night when they took out the top seed Cognitive Forge.
And, of course, in the bottom half of the bracket, another Spring Promo Tournament participant, Determined Gaming, will take on the winner of tonight's other battle between Curse Academy and No Big Deal, while Cognitive Gaming, who also got a participation ribbon in the Spring Promo Tournament, will face off against VVV Gaming White.
Yes, and remember, the top 3 teams in the Challenger's first Spring Series will automatically earn a berth in the second Spring Series. The teams who didn't quite make the cut will also get another chance to make their LCS dreams come true with another round of play-in games at the end of February.
Yeah, and of course, as always, you can get all the Challenger Series info by heading over to the brand new LOLesports.com. It looks almost as good as Shoutcasters Invests.
Yeah, just call out yourself a little bit. That's fine.
I look sexy,
Nobody knows.
Jet.
And just pull down the menu under the Leagues and Tournaments tab. You can choose the NA Challenger Series, and then you find stats, schedules, and everything else.
Okay, guys, let's get to it. The first Challenger Series of the night, Curse Academy versus No Big Deal. And remember, the winner gets a spot in the quarterfinals. The top 8, they get at least 1 Challenger Series point and the chance to play for more here on their way for an LCS spot.
Yeah, and it's been a while since we got to see Curse Academy. It's definitely some familiar faces we're going to have here. Rux, as always, is on Curse Academy, seemingly forever in college, unfortunately for that guy. He's graduated a few times to the LCS, but then he always gets sent back down. He is a quality top laner, though. He's most comfortable in that role.
And actually the players that I really like to watch as well on the rest of this lineup is got to be Fabi and Jaximus, the AD carries in the mid laner. A lot of you guys who follow the North American scene know Fabi as the gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper challenger.
Yeah, you don't
There's
get
a video about that once.
You don't get in Challenger unless you beat Fabi, at least.
Yeah.
Or
unless
he doesn't
like
throw
that guy,
on your team.
Unless you're like that guy who was the first challenger in the world.
Yeah.
That came from EU West.
Yeah.
He was really happy about it.
Yeah.
Played a lot of League of Legends.
I remember Reginald and I think it was Wicked battling for first person to get Platinum back in Season 1.
Hot Shot and Wicked, I thought.
Maybe.
Could have sworn it was Hot Shot and Wicked.
Okay. One of those guys, though.
Throwback,
One of the guys who were like OP in Season 1 back in NA. And then he got like 2200, but it was like 2222 was the cutoff, and he was like super mad that it wasn't a round number. And so Wicked beat him to it, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wicked would remember.
Wicked would remember. We could ask him over on the EU LCS when we see him on Thursday. But guys, champs like beginning. Kale and Kha'Zix banned away from No Big Deal. Gragas, Yasuo dropped away. Jax was a great Gragas player. Jungle Elise in the mid-cast and also removed here.
Yeah, so normally I'd be like, oh yeah, first pick Elise because that's what we saw most of today. Obviously Elise is banned away this time, so Annie is fairly popular. I think Fabi always loves to play very aggressively in lane, to say the least. And I think Annie would enable that type of support play the most from anything that they'd be able to throw out if they're Curse Academy. If I had to predict a first pick.
You think Annie?
Or Shyvana, because that's what they're hovering
over. Or Shyvana. Yeah, okay, that one. As I look over and back to chat's like, or Shyvana. You're right. It's totally on the screen right there. First pick Teemo, also a great option. And you're right about the Annie pick in general, in that was actually CA's last lane was Annie Caitlyn when they got their win in the prior round. So no big deal. Their own time to make some choices. Actually, interestingly, NBD is the team that banned Gragas. They actually played it themselves. Jungle Gragas. We saw them a couple times here.
Saw twice today as well.
Yeah.
It lost both games, if I remember, today in the LCS. But that was some team-specific things, some misfortune
You can't blame
type
Gragas.
actions at the blue buff. I can blame I Will Dominate.
Oh, I
for
can too.
Not having a smite up when he went to do blue buff. That was his fault.
That's really greedy, and he got punished for it. I actually always take Wraiths or Wolves. I'm going to go for that. But the lock-ins are here for no big deal. We've got the Thresh for support, the Jungle Vi. Already NBD picking some pretty safe picks, but strong ones overall.
Yeah, I can see Curse Academy wanting to get a little bit more safety right now if they decide to go for something like Caitlyn. I wonder if Curse Academy is going to go with an all-dive type team, or if they're going to go with something more passive. Jack Smith is a brand player.
Oh,
he
yeah.
played a lot of it in the past.
A lot of
But
it.
he was just kind of selecting it. No need to lock it in yet because he wants to be able to counterpick his mid lane if possible.
Yeah, it's a good choice right there.
It's not like someone's going to take brand away.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. It's one of those
Yeah.
few. It's like Boy Boy's a collie. Like, you'll get it if you want it. You can just pick it at the end to make sure the matchup's good. What I'm kind of sad about is they did pick Caitlyn. Curse Academy is a team that occasionally runs no AD carry. Fabi will play like Tryndamere or something. And so it'll be like a melee AD carry, but they won't run a marksman in their lineup.
We did see a lot of that.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's not here, but it's okay. They're going to still do something pretty fun.
It's in their back pocket.
Yeah.
In case they need to bring it out later. Although, if they lose this one,
Too late. Their pockets are empty.
their pockets will be empty.
Literally and figuratively.
Best of one, of course. It's pretty punishing for these guys, but at the same time, 6 weeks later, they're going to be able to get into another Challenger Series.
Exactly. Ladders reset, play some rank 5s, get yourself back in there. No big deal, as it were. Here we go. These guys picking their next few. Jinx picked up. Actually, it's interesting. Caitlyn was the first picked the first AD carry picked with nothing removed from the pool.
Yeah.
Curse Academy really wanted the pick. It's one of the new ADCs we've seen get played. Ziggs mid, also of course a great choice as well.
Yeah, I mean, even Cop from Curse, I was going to call him Curse Prime, but the LCS Curse team.
Yeah, yeah.
Cop played a lot of Caitlyn as well. So there could be a little bit of Curse to Curse influence going down there. Annie amazingly makes it all the way through to the very end if they decide to pick this one. And they do.
Yeah, I mean, NBD picked Thresh early on, so you figure you're going to play Annie in the first place. You don't have to first pick it anymore. So yeah, heck, why not? Just take it whenever you want.
All right.
And
Let's do it.
yep, Darius picked up here. Yoshi did play that last time. That was against the Nasus, though. He decides, no, I'm going to punish a Shyvana with Darius this time. So you like Darius, Jad.
I like him in the bottom lane.
Okay.
Darius is cool in himself in the top lane. He's not as explosive in the top lane because he's fighting against tanks. But really, he's extremely gankable because he's going to want to play extremely aggressive early on against Rux. It's all about stacking up his bleeds, building tanky and cooldown reduction if he's in the top lane, and just outlasting people.
Okay.
Basically, Darius relies on people not knowing or figuring out how much damage his ultimate plus his bleeds together deal, and kind of surprising people in that way.
Like, you're 800 health. You're dead. If
Yeah, you're actually not allowed to get that low against Darius.
Nope. You fall over and die.
Getcha.
Poor Dragon Lady's going to have maybe a hard time here. So, all right, the lineups are there. Pretty freaking aggressive there from no big deal. I love the dunks. Darius, I'm a fan of like the thematic teams when you've got like Dunkmaster Darius. I realize not the original Dunkmaster, that was Yi. But you've got enough guys who can jump up in the air and then slam down on you. Ziggs, Jarvan, Darius, etc.
So they had Ziggs in that team comp as well, right?
Yep.
Yep.
2 dunkers.
Six
Vi.
Darius, Vi.
Thresh.
No.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Jinx
I like it.
doesn't count.
They got a couple executes, if you think about it.
True.
It's actually going to be most efficient for... And this is the funny thing about Darius, actually. When he came out, everybody that played then remembers his instantly refreshing ultimate and him just jumping all over the place like crazy. And it used to have a small window where if the target died like a quarter second after you killed him, you'd get the reset anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't get the kill. That got taken out. Now it's only if you get the last hit with the ultimate.
Yes.
So Darius ends up doing a lot of overkilling with his true damage ultimate.
Yeah. To guarantee it.
And very rarely he actually gets resets. And it used to be it would reset forever. And then one of the changes went that it would be he would be allowed to use it for the next 12 seconds and then recently the next 20 seconds and then it would go back on its normal cooldown. But what's interesting is when the change got made to not instantly refresh but then instead go on a 12-second cooldown and then be on its full cooldown, his power didn't really change overall.
Yeah.
And I actually think that this is a weird Darius theory, that if the reset mechanic got removed entirely, Darius might actually become a stronger champion overall.
Why is that?
Because so many people worry about getting the last hit with the ultimate that they often don't do nearly enough damage. And if it got changed that people weren't trying to last hit with it, but instead get 5 bleed stacks and then get the full damage out of the ultimate regardless, you would do more damage and be a more effective champion for the most part.
Huh.
So in this game, since Darius and Jinx are on the same team,
Yeah.
he should stack someone up, ult him as soon as he hits 5 stacks, and then let Jinx try and get the execute.
Yeah, and actually I've seen that when we see Cho'Gath getting played. So many people try to last hit with Cho'Gath.
With his feast.
Yeah.
Just get the damage out. It's it's like, what does Cho'Gath do? 600 or 800 true damage depending on AP?
Yeah, something massive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they'll be at 6 stacks and then still like have the cognitive like, oh no, I need to eat you like completely. If you don't all get in my belly, it's not fulfilling enough.
Yeah.
So I like how it's thematic for Cho'Gath. It's not necessarily the most powerful way of doing it.
I want to see how No Big Deal plays Darius. Almost everyone tries to execute with it.
Yeah, almost everyone does. Now, guys, as the teams load into the game, let's take a look at the 2 squads, starting with Curse Academy.
Yeah, so Curse Academy had a very tough game on Friday, actually. They came away with a hard-fought 48-minute win over Complexity Academy, even though they were the number 4 seed and Complexity was the 17 seed. Curse Academy also has a couple names on their roster that we saw in Champion Select that are familiar to LCS fans. Rux obviously played for Curse a little bit in Season 3. He stepped in as support, actually, when Elements left the team way back in the spring. And obviously, their AD carry Fabi, the gatekeeper of challengers, solo queue superstar, tends to play a crazy amount of Vayne and likes to hypercarry games.
Yeah, plays some. At least used to play a bunch of Draven as well. And
He either does amazingly or just awful.
yeah,
So
it's
Fabi
15-0
dictates the game.
or 0-15.
Uh-huh.
No matter what, he's going to figure out who's going to win the game. On the other side of the rift, though, is No Big Deal. They earned their spot in tonight's game by, unfortunately, breaking the Pink Ponies on Friday.
It was a
good
pretty
name.
impressive 34-minute win over the Ponies, though. Yeah, they had some big numbers in that one. Their mid laner, Anir Attack, went 2-0-11, or Anir Attack. We're going to figure that one out, as Kale. And their AD carry, Jummy Chu, went 6-0-10 as Caitlyn. And Anir Attack's claim to fame is actually 2nd place in the Best Riven NA tournament. He barely lost out to Mega Zero.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Second best Riven NA, not playing Riven. Wasn't even banned this game.
No.
No respect by Curse Academy.
No need. He didn't play it. The Ziggs makes more sense in this.
It does.
Also, Best Riven NA was played in the top lane. He's now a mid laner.
Yeah, it's fair. And not, not even everyone who played in that tournament was a top laner. You had guys like QtPie joining in just to try what they could do. The Best Lee Sin NA tournament happened as well. You had like a bunch of AD carries showing up.
Hotshot GG played in that tournament.
Yeah.
I'm a QtPie. Definitely beat him pretty soundly. Level 1. If anyone hasn't seen one of those things, actually,
they're fun.
Yeah. Those Best Riven NA tournaments were pretty strong. I do encourage you guys, if you want to see Hotshot GG play I'm a QtPie, just search like the VODs. If you want to see Anir Attack, which is Katarina backwards against Mega Zero, you can watch the game there too.
I totally didn't realize it was Katarina backwards.
Yeah, neither did I. Somebody told me.
We should probably dictate the pronunciation as well.
How would that dictate?
So Katarina, right? Because the eyes all have different sounds. So Katarina, Anir Attack.
Okay. So if you were to spell freak backwards, how would that dictate the pronunciation?
Kerp.
Because
HP is not an F sound.
I don't.
It works in my. Shut up!
Logic.
It works in my example.
Okay.
How about Jat backwards?
Tash.
Tash.
Yeah. But
So
it doesn't make
softer
any
J.
sense because it would technically have to be Tesh. Like you can't say a double T at the start of a word. It doesn't work.
At the
that
end,
way.
it's fine though. Apparently.
Yeah. So we're about to get into this game though.
Yeah.
Darius is definitely the thing that I want to watch for.
Okay.
More than anything, I want to see.
Lock camera. Garen.
I mean, I might do it personally. I might just kind of look at the minimap and stare at Darius for a while, and you'll be like, "And that was a great gank bottom lane." I'll be like, "Yes, it was, freak."
Darius got
Yes, it
3
was.
CS.
He bled those minions out.
I used to do that casting way back like season 0 because I didn't know it like enough strategically about League of Legends to like say much about it, even though I was like a top level player. And I would just like critique people's last hitting under turret. So I had nothing else to talk about.
You know what? Last hitting under turret takes years and years of mastery. There's the zoom in on Yoshi's Darius.
For like 2 seconds, but it was enough.
Cameraman knows what he's doing.
Good.
Professional.
Yeah. So Jaximus's real name on live is only Jaximus. He didn't pick the champion, let alone the skin. I'm disappointed that he's actually same with Anir Attack, right? Didn't pick Katarina, but It's unfortunate. They don't even live up to their own names.
What if Ziggs is actually Katarina in disguise?
How did she get so short? I feel like that'd be really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about flexibility, but it doesn't work.
Nope. Sorry. It's okay, though.
Anyway,
We're here.
No invades. These guys not pulling the evil geniuses. They're going to do the regular ward game. I want to see the Zed versus Ziggs matchup, though. That's a rather... It's a rather high damage matchup, I'd have to say. And Ziggs is going to have to adjust his build accordingly to deal with Zed in the mid lane. Not something Ziggs likes to do. He's really risen to prominence, obviously with a lot of buffs, but also with the fall of the assassin mid laners. Because a lot of the Kazakhs and the Zed would have just eaten him in lane early on. And I want to see if a near attack can live through Jackson's Zed.
I want to say we saw this matchup before, actually. I think it was Bjergsen or it was High, and it was against Pobelter. I'm almost sure I remember seeing Zed versus Pobelter Ziggs. They let him have it, and he got killed pretty early on. Could be wrong. I feel like
We've definitely seen this matchup play out multiple times. It can go either way, because Ziggs has so much damage potential and very good zones of control that if he gets an edge on Zed, it's quite good. He'll go for the Seeker's Arm Guard most of the time to avoid Zed crushing him.
And maybe a couple Doran's Rings for mana and health in the way. Olaf going to grab his blue buff. Safe jungle starts here. Actually, both starting on the top side. It might pan out about 3.5 minutes in when the junglers show up to the bottom half of the map. Annie waiting to stun people with that annoying 625 range. Yay for Annie, having more range than most AD carries.
I thought it was 600.
625. So she beats everyone but Caitlyn and, like, Cog with W active in late game Trist.
All right. That's true. Or Jinx with a maxed Q.
True. Yeah, I forgot about her. 700 range on her with rockets. I feel like, what, rank 1 rockets is 600? I think it's 25 per rank, so... I feel like not enough people rocket harass. Or maybe people are so good now that they sort of realize...
I've been noticing a lot more rocket harass this weekend. Nice chain, though.
Into the root as well. Fabi dropped dangerously low. Already flashed away. The flash in from Jumping. Barrier burn. Cleanse on the Ignite.
Oh.
One more hit, and no one's going to get it. Now, Sheep, do you have the damage? Well, Fog of War is going to make that hard. One more attack. Down goes the kill. Now, Fabi,
still got flash.
Pick up the rest. Yuno is low. Look at these guys just playing them out, and Fabi gets the kill. Would you believe that?
Fabi and Sheep dictating the game. They put themselves in a crazy situation, and then Jimmy Choo and Yuno just went a little bit too aggro. The minions, since the levels were so low in that situation, did the lion's share of the damage at the end there.
That was pretty fabulous.
Yes, I guess so.
I'm going to make them more painful and obvious.
He's now becoming the gatekeeper of the Challenger Series.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. CA going to go all the way to the finals and be like, no. Although, wait, if you make it an LCS, though... No, this works. This works still. Never mind. Here we go.
Big gank.
Nice jump away by Katarina backwards. Yeah. Force the satchel charge. Do you think that would hurt a little bit?
No. Ziggs is immune to his own explosives.
Okay. They're just water balloons anyway. No one ever got hurt by a water balloon. Unless it was frozen. That would actually kind of suck. Just get hit with a block of ice. I was just playing.
They call those something, actually. I think there's a nickname for them.
That's just being a jerk.
Or like just
That's
like
what I would call
frozen snowballs.
Aren't snowballs already frozen?
Big gank coming into the top lane, though.
Uh-oh, no, Darius, please live, Yoshi. Here we go.
See, he's very gankable. He does have his flash up. It shouldn't be... it's all about dodging the axe.
Yep. Burn his flash for it, though, but stylish either way. Yoshi does survive this one. But, of course, now if T-Tours shows back up, it's pretty much a kill.
Yeah, Aerodactyl needs to spend a lot of time top lane if he wants to get Darius going. When Darius saw a lot of play in Season 2 earlier on, near when he was released, it was often for the 2v2.
Yeah.
So Vi needs to spend a lot of time up there and almost force the 2v2 to happen. Otherwise, Darius is just a waiting gank target.
And he pulls a lot of jungle pressure in general. I remember, actually, first it's going to be an attack. He's fine. Okay. But I remember Darius pulls a lot of jungle pressure in general. Season 2 Worlds, Darius played Darius into Jace, saying, yeah, in a 1v1 it's a bad matchup and I'm going to lose.
Exactly.
But if I get a jungle gank, even in the 2v2 with the jungle gank, I will win that fight. And so you kind of have to show up with your jungler or you're going to end up succumbing to the Darius overall.
Yep. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean...
I didn't understand you properly.
You can see him here. No, you expanded on the point.
Okay.
At least Rux is pushing up a little bit. Ooh. You can see it takes a while for Darius' damage to kind of stack up, and now he has the bleed stacks. Rux is really getting taken low. That's the way it works.
Yeah, good and painful right there. All right, Yoshi getting him down to half. These guys trading blows. Doran's shield, no potions left in either of these guys. So once 6 happens, Darius going to go dunking. It's going to be fun. Curse Academy, though, still able to push out the bot lane. Now, these guys, of course, got to back and got heck a lot more items. Vamp Scepter already for Fabi. I feel like this lane's going to keep going these guys' way.
I think you'd be allowed to say hell if you want.
I know. I just don't.
All right, Hecka.
No, Hella is definitely. You don't get to not say Hella.
You just did. You said Hecka something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I made the comment in the first place, man.
Then I just I have shamed you, NorCal. I apologize.
All right.
I had a friend who used to say hell of cool, just to be a troll.
All right. Good enough.
Oh.
It's been a long week so far.
We're good.
It's been good, though. We've gotten a whole bunch of LCS out of the way if you guys were checking that out. Lots of upsets in the North American LCS today. And the Challenger Series is just getting ramped up here. The winners of these 2 games today make it into the bracket phase, and that is best of 3 from then on out. So yeah. I definitely think Curse Academy is the big favorites. Maybe not even this game, but to do very well in this overall tournament because these guys have been playing as a team for quite a while. You know, Curse Academy is a constantly changing roster. Quite successful. Fabi is always a strong player. You know, they must have a lot of synergy going by now.
Ooh, Sheep pulled into the turret, takes 1 turret shot so far, eats a Flame Chomper. That's maybe okay from the fire pack onto Yuno. Do they have enough damage? You know they don't. He's going to get away with a flash. Curse Academy, just a bit of a damage trade.
Yeah, now we might see some action right in the jungle. Aerodactyl going in.
Rux missing the ulti, but Aerodactyl still only 5 burns his flash as well. And all right, well, Curse Academy got control of the red buff.
Yeah, and that was mainly because Yoshi lost a bit of control in top lane. Rux disappeared. He didn't necessarily follow because they were not in position to do a 2v2. I think they were afraid of a 3v3 in there if Zed and Ziggs would have came at the same time. And they end up getting their redstone. Let's see if he can counter with anything of his own.
Yoshi trying to control the blue buff here. He does have a level advantage over T-Tours, who I feel like can't stay around until he gets teammate help, which he kind of does, and you see Yoshi actually back out from this one. So no opportunities there, but we have the level 6 Darius, so it's going to be a thing to watch.
It's interesting that Darius went for the Vamp Scepter.
Yeah, Hydra you think maybe, or just for sustain?
I've seen Tiamat and Hydra Dariuses in the past when they have a lot of farm. Generally, Trinity Force is actually my favorite item on Darius because he really benefits from the move speed.
Yeah.
It's your favorite item in life.
Well, yes.
It's my favorite item on Darius.
That's why I play Legend of Zelda so much.
All right.
I don't have to just play League of Legends. I can still get Triforce. It's pretty wonderful. RNA is not my favorite player.
Because of the Triforce tattoos.
Yep. Didn't want to like him before, but now I don't have a choice.
Why didn't you?
He's actually a cool guy. I realized that couldn't be left standing. I was like, wow, Freak's a dick. He hates RNA for no reason. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Actually, remember when RNA was a support player way back when? I cast him in like Season 1.
I remember back in. This is probably a little off topic, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Back in WCG, Locust, our support player at the time when I was on Team Dignitas, had a scouting report on RNA. And like I'm a cutie pie, and Boy were just like terrified of him based on the explanation because he's like he is crazy. He will just flash over a wall to try a gank. They're like, oh man, what's he gonna do? He's just crazy. And it's like, well, he's actually crazy. Don't be scared of him. He just does really stupid things all the time. And then like during the game, they're a little bit intimidated, but like he would literally at one point in the game he flashed over a brush, and we like saw it because it was onto a ward. We're like, did he just flash into that ward? It was like backed away. We're like, all right, that's fine. But he's gotten much better since then.
Definitely has. One of the better junglers in Europe for sure. We're seeing actually Darius, giant minion lead right now, 18 above. Got ganked, lost his flash, had no fear, and is like back to pushing Rux around.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty strong right now. You can see Rux doesn't have any sustain built up yet. He's just sitting on that Giant's belt. So as long as Darius can stay in this 1v1 for a while, he'll keep lane supremacy and keep that farm lead. It's really completely on Curse Academy whether they want to just let that slide because they feel like Siobhan and Darius are mostly trading farm. And if they don't, then obviously Yoshi's going to continue to be a little bit ahead.
Okay, Jackson's getting jumped on right now, though. Not much help from the Ziggs. He's going to answer back onto Aerodactyl. Do they have the damage? Kalen ult as well. Actually gets knocked into range of Aerodactyl by the Satchel Charge. That's going to give Jack Smith a kill right there and control over the dragon.
I like this move by Curse Academy. Instead of reacting to the Darius. They just go and take something else. They're not going in any 2v2. They wait out the Ziggs.
That was close.
Wow.
Those are both really close, actually.
They could still go in on this. I wouldn't be surprised if NBD decides to actually try and fight this, but Curse Academy on the run.
Yeah, Sheep takes some damage, but he's still going to be all right. Let's see. Bottom lane is regrouping back down there. And, you know, we talk about the lanes a little bit. Actually, Yoshi, is this in kill range right now? Could he, like, all-in Rux?
The problem is he has to get his bleed stacks up. And Rux would also ultimate away.
Yeah,
the more Qs he lands, the closer it gets. He might try to poke him in here and force an ult.
There's a dev. He gets another Q. 4 stacks, I believe. Those are going to bleed off pretty soon, though. Curse Academy, so we talked about a little bit. Darius up about 15 CS. The dive in, good cleanse there. But now it's onto Yuno. He's stuck inside his own box, trying to run away. Sheep getting ignited, and that is a kill. Jinx gets excited. She's out. Jemichu, good pick up there. I take the back. Yuno getting the kill credit. But still, nice for NBD.
Yeah, getting something back considering they were down a Vamp Scepter mostly in that lane matchup is big stuff. You wouldn't think that Fabi and Sheep would lose that trade after getting the 2 kills for none so early on in the lane.
Now what happened is actually, looks like Jemichu backed for a BF sword before the Curse Academy bottom lane ever did. So they were fighting BF sword to Vamp Scepter. And that'll usually give you a lane win. Am I wrong?
No, Fabi had the Vamp Scepter had the BF sword and a Vamp Scepter.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. Whereas Jemichu had just the long sword. So like damage-wise, they were the same.
Okay.
But just a little bit more gold and itemization on Fabi.
Lifesteal not as useful when you're dying in 8 seconds.
Yep.
More or less. Of course, actually, Fabi's the one who survived. So to be fair.
Sheep.
Yeah, Sheep, unfortunately, taken out, turned into wool. But he's back. We're going to be okay. Fabi back to the CS game right now. Of course, Dragon has given Curse Academy a bit of a gold lead. NBD did rotate for the top lane turret. So they're finding things to do. That Darius lane right now, their big sort of like locus of power right there. He's doing well, making things happen. But I don't know if they're going to convert much out of that. I want to see him in fights. Yeah.
NBD is sticking close enough. It does seem like Curse Academy is in the majority of the control in this game. If Jaximus is able to start roaming around, that's really going to be what decides this game. Whether that is Fabi and Sheep turret diving with the Zed, or they want to get Rux going with Jaximus. Either one is going to show us a lot if Curse Academy can snowball this game ahead.
Well, here we go. They're making a little bit of a move here as both junglers showing up to this top lane tri-brush. Olaf might sit on a ward soon. No, he hits behind the wall, so they don't know Olaf is around. But he gets pinged danger. Looks like we're okay for now. Yoshi taking a bad trade right now against Rux, but will he come back in? He's got the bleed stacks. No, the ulti in. Yoshi forced to run. Ignite is on him as well. Rux just bleeding, but he's going to be fine.
I'd say it's a more interesting top lane than usual.
Yeah.
Just
because they're fighting
Darius.
a lot.
They're trading a lot of damage with each other.
You know, Darius, I think, is the first champion with a recall animation.
Really?
I think so. And it snuck under the radar because it wasn't a very obvious recall animation. He just lifts his axe up.
To the sky.
Yeah, and people noticed it with Draven, which came right after. And I was like, oh no, actually Darius came first. I was like, oh, okay. Ooh, blue buff. That's Aerodactyl, but it does get denied from a near attack.
I believe you.
Axe in the air. Darius' first recall animation.
Yep.
Someone asked me that about a week ago, and I was like, I think it was Darius. And then that made it much more easy to recall here. Random everyday life helps me cast sometimes.
Word association as well.
Yes.
Helps you finish sentences.
Yep. You know, Jat, sometimes we finish each other's.
Sandwiches?
Yes.
Not sure.
Yeah, you put the mayonnaise on, I put on the beef, you put on the cheese. I don't know. I don't even like mayonnaise. I don't know why we led with that. Whatever. Minions going down. Look at this. Perfect CS. Jemichu. Good job. He waited. Had enough attack damage. Once you have about plus 20 AD from items, 25-30 roughly, actually.
Yes. Because you were talking about
one-shot caster minions.
Yeah. It becomes almost comical the last hit a turret. Like, I also like how the turrets are fairly consistent in the way they deal damage now. You can really tell when someone... it's like a mini-game every time you go down to farm. If a big wave hits your turret, like what's going to happen to Rux if he had a turret?
You get the first one pretty easily.
He's going to hope to get the minigame going. But yeah, just trying to do your minigame and farming all the minions is actually quite challenging. You can see the pros almost never miss. Focus on that every time you're in a game and you see minions coming through to your turret. It's an incredible amount of gold over the course of a game if you can get all of them. Yep.
Melee minions, the turret hits it twice. You'll get it almost no matter who you are, with very few exceptions. 2 auto attacks in any champion auto attack, and you're fine. Casters always need help of some kind.
Yeah, you want the support to hit it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you see people use spells on it. There's a few strange spells you can use, like if you have a really low damage spell, if you're on Cassiopeia or something, you can throw a W on right as you're auto-attacking, but don't let it sit too long, otherwise the turret will kill it.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff that you have to do. It's really champion dependent. Or like if you're Shyvana, you have your burnout, take it for like a second.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Ruck's
of
been
weird
doing that,
stuff.
actually. But now he has Sunfire, so that's kind of gone for him. I've actually learned which mages have instant damage spells. So Swain's Q, for example, deals damage the instant you press Q.
Yep.
Whereas his E, like I don't know if it even ticks at the beginning, but you've got to like get the projectile out. So like you can like auto Q as Swain, you'll get casters. You can like E early then auto. It gets really weird when you have Blade of the Ruin King because you don't do enough damage when they're low, but you'll overkill it when they're full health. So you have to somehow get 2 attacks in, and you can't hit early or you'll kill it with percent health current damage, and it'll die to the turret.
Same thing used to happen with Jarvan until his passive was adjusted a little bit. It was like impossible for him to kill the ranged minions at turret.
Poor guy.
But not anymore. And it looks like Curse Academy has taken a bit more control of this game. You can see Fabi finished off the bottom turret, and now they're actually using him as a soul split pusher. He's very experienced in this role because he plays a lot of Vayne, and Vayne is typically the split pusher that can then duel an AD carry. Caitlyn doesn't have the same dueling potential, but he still knows how to position himself as a solo person and stay safe.
Yeah, and at least he can ward for himself. That helps a little bit here. You know, you can actually chain all of your spells in with your net. You don't have to just EQ. You can EW, which is sometimes way better because the slow helps them not avoid the trap, and you can often combo into a root.
I haven't seen anybody do that in pro play necessarily.
Yeah, I feel like I don't either. I feel like I don't see a lot of mid-fight traps.
Yeah.
Either because they're not noisy enough that I see them cast it, or just because they're certainly good players. Like I'm sure they're aware of all the combos. I don't know. I've noticed the Nidalee players are really good at spreading traps out down the sides of the lane, though.
Oh, yeah.
That when a fight breaks out, someone will eventually hit one, but they'll almost never get taken by minions. All right, another dragon for Curse Academy. 2-0 on this. 4,000 gold in the lead. That's actually pretty good at this point. Low kills, but good objective control. Winning in turrets as well.
Yoshi didn't really make much of an impact up with Darius.
Yeah.
Yet.
He will. Pentakill, calling it.
The Vamp Scepter's still a little questionable for me. But
Yeah, he wanted to sustain, I guess, but now
I
he's
know.
items behind.
yeah, he did out-farm Shyvana. They traded turrets. I think if a fight happened right now, he can still make an impact, but an air attack would have to get a lot of damage down. He's looking not very healthy.
Yeah, here we go. The dive's going to come in anyway. Teacher is running towards the front. Yuno taking a bit of pain.
Ooh.
Jinx ulti does not even land as
Here we
that I
go.
saw. And here we go. Yoshi going for the pain, trying to take down Annie. Doing what he can after this fight. We're going to have a quick game pause, but Yoshi's still in the battle. Does go down. Looks like a 2-for-1 overall. NBD does come out ahead. All right, guys, we got to pause real quick in this game. So, Darius, 2 kills for the team.
He did get a couple kills. That was a decent fight for them because they initiated so hard into the jungle there that he could get a couple bleed stacks just by spamming his Q a few times. His executes were okay, and I was a little distracted. I mainly just watched the Darius that fight.
Yeah.
But he did all right.
That's all you have to really watch for here.
Well, at least when he has the resets, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're watching for.
Yeah, it's actually going to replay that fight, Jet. Since we were so zoomed in on one champion, we should probably watch all 10.
Let's watch the other ones.
Yeah,
It's
let's
generally pretty important.
watch the other 9. I mean, I guess we maybe saw his victims for a little bit as well, but we can get that replay up on your screen. Yeah, one sec. We're getting that set up for you guys. So, so that's interesting. So Curse Academy was winning pretty hard, like good margin, comfortable margin, and we just had NBD win a fight. Now, unfortunately, Dragon's already gone. Nothing to take for that. Only turret they've killed yet is top outer, so they could maybe rotate to mid. Maybe rotate to bottom, try to get some extra pressure there. We're going to get the replay on your screen right now, though, Jat, so here we go.
Yeah, so the big thing here is the Thresh box is actually pretty much the perfect box. Everyone has to run through that. And then it's just a big cluster. If the Jinx ultimate would have hit the middle of that fight, it would have been just ridiculous benefit for Team NBD, but because it wasn't, Curse Academy kind of escaped the giant cluster and still came out on top of that fight 2-1. But it was a pretty dangerous place for them to be diving into. Things almost went wrong despite Curse Academy's big gold lead.
Yeah, they could have went way worse. The Jinx ulti actually hit the back line. It touched the full health Fabi instead of getting like all the super chunked frontliners there. And I did see the Caitlyn cupcake mid-fight there. The Darius had the revealed buff on his head, meaning he'd eaten a cupcake early that fight. So, Fabi, putting cupcakes down mid-fight. Do that when you're Caitlyn. Don't forget. It's really important. It's free peel.
Agreed.
Self-peel. Pretty useful. All right. So, coming through this game, the other thing I think about, I just like to talk about Darius. We don't see him much.
Sure.
I'm just going to keep going. I hope you have like some more
What else
do you
could we
knows.
talk about Darius? Well, the thing is, Darius is a pretty simple champion.
Yeah.
Did you know this is like if you read the tooltip, you know this.
Mhm.
But his W is actually an attack speed slow as well as
Yeah.
a move speed slow. So if you can close in on an AD carry, it theoretically helps him duel in those tight-knit situations.
Yeah.
Also, his E is one of the few like vacuum type abilities in the game.
Mhm.
And by vacuum, I mean it brings multiple targets into a singular point, which is rather potent with other AoE, but it's got a little bit of anti-synergy with himself. So if you actually get a hook on someone, I like hooking in, Wing them so they're slow, but then I want to fade back so you can get the extra damage on your Q because it's got 2 zones of damage. The outer one is 50% more, the inner one is less. And then since they're slowed, you can still attack them again later and keep the auto attacks in. But the fadeaway is really nice. And that's why I like Trinity Force, because it gives him more of that mobility.
Yeah, and he just moves fast whenever he auto attacks or kills something as well. That's cool. Did you know gains move speed per person bleeding?
I did know that.
Yeah. So for what it's worth, it's very like invisible. You see the bleed and you're like, "Ow, this hurts a lot. I'm taking damage." But if he gets the entire team, that's 25% bonus move speed until the bleeds all fall off. And so he's actually going to like start zipping around that fight a little bit more. For what it's worth.
Yeah, it's an absurd amount of move speed. He's also unfairly extremely hard to itemize against.
Yeah.
Because he does physical damage with his 2 normal abilities.
QW auto attack.
His E gives him armor penetration.
Mhm.
Then his bleed just does magic damage. His alt is obviously true damage. So the things you want to build against him is basically health, is what you think. But then his Q's hitting you for max damage anyway, and the armor pen is making it closer to true damage on all his abilities.
He's a painful dude.
Don't build that much good against him. That's why people didn't like him.
Yeah.
Didn't
At least you
seem
can
like he
kite
has
the
many
guy.
Counters. Unless he builds a Trinity Force and a Zephyr.
In which case he just dies in 3 seconds. Or not. Sorry. You're the Darius Master.
Sometimes he does.
Sometimes.
Only build that when you're very far ahead.
When you're very far ahead, just Alacrity Enchantment, Boots
Yes.
of Swiftness, run at people.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Champions with low amounts of tools, which I'd like to call Darius, also Udyr, and maybe even Garen, are favorite champions for Alacrity Enchantments.
Yeah.
Since they are useless if they can't get in melee range of somebody. So therefore, move speed to me is just catastrophically more valuable than other itemization, which means I almost always build Alacrity Boots when I play those champions.
I remember playing against you in the beginning of our Season 3 playtests, and you would rush Boots to an Alacrity Enchant on Jungle Udyr, and it's like 10 minutes into the game, it's like your only item.
Yeah.
Right? And you're just like, he has like 400 move speed without Bear Stance, and I'm just like dying all the time.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm Ash and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Sometimes I did Swifty Boots because it would reduce your slow percentage. So
Oh, it's true.
It's like Boots 2.5 with the enchantment.
Yeah. So then I'm even less useful as Ash. Thank you for being a jerk and countering my champion
Not
with
a
your
problem.
items. I hate you.
Anytime.
Yeah. Other interesting things, like as we talk about sort of the new items coming into the seasons, I guess it makes sense. I didn't think about it, though. One of the Cloud9 players was talking about how they're playing less Ash because you pick up Mikhail so often now. That I think it got cheaper, if I recall correctly.
It got way cheaper.
Yeah. It's like 2,000 goldish now.
I want to say it's even cheaper than that, but I could be wrong.
It's like 2,000 or 1,800. Fairly cheap overall. And yeah, I mean, 3-minute cooldown is long, but you only get that many miracle arrows per game that he's like, oh, you stunned our AD carry for 5 seconds. No.
Yeah.
And it worked really well in that case. I remember the act of getting moved around a little bit. So it's now flat plus % of max health. So it's not like it is a bait in that like you want to bait someone to overcommit, but it's not a like missing health heal like I'm trying to think of missing health heals and I'm blanking.
Missing health heal.
we
Soraka
have
is a
any?
missing health heal?
Yeah, she does now.
Yeah. I think that's most of them. I don't think we have any. We generally have like missing health executes.
Yeah.
And just now we have missing health heals.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much just on Soraka.
Okay. So before what it's worth, that baiting's been kind of fun. It was actually really good to me. I like the item because if I'm getting like Alacrity Boots and like Talisman of Ascension, I'm already at CDR cap, and I'm like, but I really want Chalice. And now it builds into something other than Athene's. I guess it always had, but Mikhail's really good now, and I can feel good buying a Chalice on like Janna or something.
So, our fancy stat people, Karma has a missing health percentage heal.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Mantra W.
Yep. It's a lot of health, too.
It's like 20% missing both ends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's maximum like 39.9% or something if you're like a sliver when you used it.
You know what the...
and then took a bunch of damage and then continued to
got back to 2 health. Used the shield in time. Actually, did you know, this isn't actually a mechanic, but I went back and watched the Dignitas Alliance series, and in the very beginning of Game 1, I think it's Game 1, where Kiwi Kid and Cutie Pie gets dived on, Kiwi hits level 3, learns W, actually activates Mantra and is like almost mid-cast animation as he's running back to his turret, almost heals himself for 20% of his health, and survives that early tower dive. That Shook gets in at like 3 minutes.
Did.
He like almost survived. He's basically a quarter second from healing for 20% of his max health.
Would it change the game?
Maybe.
No, it wouldn't. I think Alliance had that one pretty well.
Yeah, but it was the beginning. It snowballed a little bit.
Yeah.
And tabs got a bit bigger. But I was like, I was like, slowed it down. I was like, the icon changed. He did Mantra. He did hit level 3 and learn it because the spectator was on him already, so we could see his skills. So really close to that happening. You never know. I don't know. QTPie.
Those turret dives can often be extremely close on whether they're going to work or not.
There's some crazy. I mean, we saw that with last night, the LMQ game. Godlike.
Ackerman?
Ackerman,
Yeah.
Godlike from Royal, he renamed, but that's the same player.
Ackerman.
Yeah, but he was, unless I'm like actually dumb and I was lied to, but same player, right?
No, he is Godlike from Royal.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
making sure. Yeah, he like lived with 12 health for like 5 minutes under that turret, kind of. Like gets an Ori shield. I don't think he actually got a Cold Meek off, but just enough resist that he survived and then tanked the turret, killed the champions there. It was just like, some people just survive that long. Beta Tarek, 300 armor. You remember playing like old Tarek?
That was
Rush
like a
Frozen
couple
Heart?
days ago.
Huh?
A couple weeks ago, wasn't Tarek able to get 300 armor?
That's true, sure. But
Yeah.
I remember the fountain turret used to deal physical damage.
Right.
And you could sit in the fountain for like 8 seconds.
So yeah, I guess in the Alliance game against Dignitas at Battle of the Atlantic, they all tried to do that fountain dive thing. That used to be way easier. Yeah.
Just sit there.
Like, you could actually do it. I know some games way back when I was playing Uter back then, and I would hit something like 200 or 300 armor, and we'd like to run it with a lot of shields or heals or something. So like, I could actually just turtle stance tank and just have people healing me and shielding me and just be in the fountain for like 25 seconds if we wanted to. It was amazing. I can kind of see why they removed it.
Yeah.
It's not very fun for the enemy.
A little bit.
But it was pretty fun for us.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
And it pierces Kale ulti, it pierces
Now it
Zillion
does.
ulti, now it does. Pierces GA, everything. You can't even shield like damage.
No.
So if you thought you were gonna like blitzcrank passive, no. None of it. It just like
I agree with the decision overall. Yeah.
But when I was winning, it was so much more fun.
It was.
Oh well.
And we would see so many more fountain dives in the LCS if it.
Thresh hooks are already enough.
I mean, we already see fountain dives.
Yeah. Sorry?
We already see a bunch of fountain dives.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
They're fun.
Yeah.
And the teams that do it wrong, there was actually a video up like 3 months ago or something of a team who like killed all the minions, all the turrets, they're like nexus at half, and they all fountain dive and die, and the team comes back and kills the base.
Yeah.
And they lose by bad mannering the fountain.
And just so you guys know, the issues have been solved. We're now back into the game. Thank you for listening to us rant about almost nothing league related.
We almost always rant about beta, I've noticed.
You know, being nostalgic is one of the coolest things I've found in game communities. Like, knowing where this game came from and what has changed is always an interesting topic of conversation. We'll delve deeper if we get another pause, actually.
I do like league stories. They're really enjoyable. Just all the old like sit on the porch, listen up stories. But we're back into the game. NBD, they do take the mid-outer turret, 2-2 in turrets here, of course. Curse Academy still up 2 dragons and a champion kill. To recap, guys, if you don't remember what's going on, if you tuned in late to the stream, whatever, what have you, this is a match, a best of 1. The winner goes into top 8. The winner of this plays Determined Gaming. We saw them play against Evil Geniuses, lose 0-3 there. But this is going to be their next opponent, whichever team wins here. Top lane Darius is an awesome bro. Got a kill and assist last fight. And overall, fun game going on.
Yeah, it's gotten fairly close. I think Curse Academy, they've controlled 2 of the dragons, if any of you are just tuning in now. Fabi and Sheep actually got a very early double kill in the lane. So Fabi's going to be looking to become a force later on in this matchup. But they've actually lost a lot of their lane presence since getting that double kill. Yes, they took the tower, but they had a 2v2 fight where they actually ended up suffering a death. So not everything is going right for Curse Academy.
Not everything. And we had one minor fight where NBD went 2-1 in the battle in just kind of the middle of the jungle. So these guys definitely trading blows right here. Jackson is picking up the money. He is a 1-0-1 Zed. I feel like his split push scariness is going to grow over time, especially when he completes that last Whisper. Should be able to take on almost anyone from the other team. I feel like Darius couldn't beat a Zed. I don't think he'd kill him in time. I feel like.
Right now, Darius for Zed?
Right now, without Last Whisper, maybe he's all right.
Yeah.
He's 12, so it's a really good power spike. But I just feel like 3 items for both these guys.
Yeah, I think there comes a point where Zed becomes more potent.
Okay. NBD looking for the bottom lane here. Looks like they have rotated first. 4 people going to be here as Darius holds the mid lane. This turret pretty much at full health, but there's no one here to defend this really. The rest of the rotation's coming in now. Annie's joined up with Zed. Jacksmith and Sheep here. They're trying to kill off the minions, and looks like NBD's going to flinch here and not quite go for it. That was the reason we paused. Yoshi has reconnected, of course, already. The game's continuing on.
It's an artifact right there. Not something that was actively happening. He's good to go. Coming back up towards his top lane, trying to stop Rux. He's fallen a little bit behind in farm because of those team fight shenanigans that just happened. I feel like Rux is actually getting to that late game scaling point where Darius is going to be scared of him. So Yoshi actually needs to find more team fight situations where he can start bleed stacking multiple people and just help Jinx get those executes.
Let's see if he can do it. NBD with a good siege on his bottom lane. Decent damage here. That turret down just a couple hundred health right now. Next time someone's left alone, it's going to be going down. Rux, good rotation to mid. No one here to stop him at all. Curse Academy looking to kill this building down. Good stuff right there. Just a freebie.
Kill this building down. Yeah, they're pressuring around the map. It's because Rux had pushed so much in the top lane. He just rotated mid, and NBD had nobody to come up and match that. And Aerotech had gotten a little bit distracted and ended up going to the bot lane. NBD's trying to get some of this turret pressure back, but they're just falling a bit behind now.
And Yoshi just seems to be having a worse time killing off these minion waves. You talked about Rux just pushing top so hard, and Yoshi was basically unable to move. And you know, to kind of add to all this, Rux is actually he's going to be really big. 170 minions going towards Blade of the Ruin King as well. I mean, I feel like Rux is going to have a pretty good time trying to dive towards the back line if he gets to.
Yeah, things are looking way up for Curse Academy right now. Everything absolutely going the way. I think especially once they get Static Shiv, since they're already substantially out-pushing NBD, they have a very good push comp at the moment. You know, Rux on Shyvana, almost an unstoppable split pusher at this point by anyone on NBD. Jacksmith has enough damage, and Aerotech actually did go for the Athene's Unholy Grail with the Seeker's Arm Guard, so there's no Zhonya's he can't get in range of Zed. Then you just add in Caitlyn Olaf, both those guys extremely good range wave clear. All 3 slots so far for Curse Academy here can push through extremely well, and NBD, despite having Ziggs, who is one of the best counter pushers in the game, just don't have enough across the map to keep the minions away from their turrets. They
don't just yet, so Curse Academy, the outer layer already been peeled away. Look for the second layer soon enough. They're actually looking to control the the Baron a fair bit. 2 pink wards around Baron. Another one on the route in, so that is 3 of them already put down. Using the sweeper, using other wards to spot the ways in. Looks like they're baiting right around the wall here. Near attack gets seen. The flash in from Sheep, and near attack. Good buy right there. Sheep getting the kill credit. 2-2-2 on that Annie.
Yeah, it's been a strong initiation there, and especially with the steal potential of Ziggs down, they just have to pick off Vi or zone her from the fight in order to secure this Baron. Let's see how well they zone out Aerodactyl, or whether they're willing to just engage in a 50-50 trade here.
Let's see what they do right there. Vi is nearby. No one's probably going to zone him out. Of course, his team's still here to go for this one. To jump over from Zed, goes for the ulti. Can they one-shot Vi in time? Health bar still going down for Curse Academy, but they can turn back on this one. Jackson flashes over the wall. Jinx ulti's going to claim a kill, but it's Baron in a 1-for-1.
Yeah, they were just able to get that Baron. Good job killing Aerodactyl. It does seem like the connectivity issues continue for Yoshi.
In the past.
No, they're still happening. He disconnected during that fight. There's the online rules as well, since these are played online, that if you only get 10 minutes of pause time for these guys, and I believe they've went close to through it. So if he has connectivity issues, it is the individual's responsibility, as far as these rules go, unfortunately, to hold their own connection. And it seems like he's reconnecting in a little bit more often than NBD would like. They were losing when it started, but it has persisted.
That's a fair point. Okay, so we'll see these guys can regroup from all of this. A 7,000 gold lead, though, puts Curse Academy in a pretty good spot. Set up the wards, set up the play, traded kills, got rid of the enemy jungler, and gave themselves a high percentage smite here. Randuin's Omen plus Ancient Golem here on the Olaf jungle. They've got a force to dive with. They've got an AD carry who can sit there and put out the damage from the back, and a bunch of anything split pushers. Curse Academy, pretty well-rounded lineup right now.
Yeah, Curse Academy looking to shove in as many lanes as they possibly can. It's about an 8,000 gold advantage. Yoshi reconnects again. Come
Very
on, buddy.
unfortunate.
Stay back this time.
I believe. Gotta believe. You believe hard enough, and they show back up.
You got to believe pretty hard in this case. They are down substantially. Darius, even if he wasn't having connection issues, has a very weak late game when compared to Shyvana. All the pushing advantages are accumulating for Curse Academy. The Baron is up. These are very hard things to come back from if you're NBD.
Definitely are right here. Curse Academy still putting the pressure on. Sweeper used to get rid of some of these wards, make sure that jungle is blacked out as they go for that second ring of turrets. They're still at 3 right now, but 4, 5, and 6 are right in front of them. Zed in the bottom. Shyvana with the rest of the team up top. Aerodactyl not quite finding a fight right here. Yuna's going to go in, finds the pull. Teacher is going to pop the ulti to get away from this one. So Olaf is safe, but loses a cooldown.
That was kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
The Death Sentence just kind of disappearing as soon as it almost like it got zapped or something.
Yeah, it's the new particle for when you remove
death
it.
Particle, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I like it a lot. It sort of shatters with Thresh Green Mystic Energy. Ooh, Sheep gets pulled up there.
Oh, could
nice
see a
play
big
backwards.
fight here.
There's a good Timbers. Goodbye, Fabi gets the kill picked up. Pretty easy one, all things considered, for Curse Academy. Maybe Yuna shouldn't have gotten in that one. Unfortunately, that whole jungle was warded.
It's really hard for them to get control right now. There's pink wards in the jungle. The catch potential of Sheep is too high, and they just cannot seem to get Yoshi back in this game.
Very unfortunate for these guys, but the pressure is still just going to continue for Curse Academy. The dive in by Rux slows down Jumichu and just goes down. Fabi on a rampage, 4-0 and 4. Aerodactyl stunned up as well. That's another kill picked up here. Curse Academy likely to get some turrets. The Near attack also goes down. Jack has lost some health, but very much worth it there.
Yeah, this looks like it could be close to the end here. Curse Academy just got a whole bunch of kills. They still have the Baron buff, and they're just pushing down the inhibitor turrets.
Inhibitor turret number 1 under siege, 4 turrets to 2. CA 10-4 in kills as well. Inhib number 1 also going to go down just 27.5 minutes in. Jackson is still pressuring the bottom lane as well.
Backing away to play this one a little bit more safe. Oh, there it is. That's a surrender.
That is a surrender. NBD dropping out. Curse Academy moving on forward. They will be playing against Determined Gaming, I believe, in the very next week. But all the round of 8 matches are either next week or the week after.
Yeah, they're going to be always right after the North American LCS on Saturday and Sunday. But, you know, it's a very unfortunate ending.
Yeah.
Right there for those guys. I know they're not going to be happy about that one. But Curse Academy was winning that game previously. It's just the tough nature of this tournament sometimes. Yeah,
it's very, very unfortunate for these guys, but Curse Academy, of course, putting on a pretty good amount. And by the way, that's going to be February 1st, that game. So 2 weeks from yesterday, if I have my days properly.
Damn.
Yeah, 2 weeks from yesterday. Right, yes, 13 days from now. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but when you return, Tint Gaming takes on NK Inc., Evaniscus, and the rest of Skyline in our second match of the night. The 2014 North American Challenger Series will be right back after this.